Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Mick Demi, and today I'd like to talk about how neural networks and AI actually can allow people to fly. So, a lot of people want to be able to fly using jetpacks. Jetpack is the basic technology in order to be able to lift a human being off the ground and fly over in the sky. You know what jetpacks are, obviously. But there actually might be a better way. And what I mean by that is AI, these neural networks that engineers in Silicon Valley, China are making, can actually design a wing. They can design wings for people. And I've never heard anybody discuss this, but it's something that should be brought up because they're actually wings probably would be a better technology than jetpacks because jetpacks require fuel, requires a propellant, and it can get a little bit messy. It's a pollutant, and in some ways it's also a little bit dangerous. And the reason why AI could actually allow people to fly is because we as people have trained computers we have like little robot machines, right? And these robot machines can run around. They can crawl and jump. They've learned how to run. They're learning how to drive vehicles. How to be able to navigate through GPS and things like that. But in actuality, if you were to design a wing, like on your shoulders, like have a wing like that, the wing, like the AI, the software on a neural network can train how to like go up and how to go up and down, like how to flap its wing to create enough momentum to be able to lift a 200-pound person off of the ground. So you need to be able to create a device. The reason why I present this idea is because people who are training in neural networks and in AI self-learning devices, deep learning, adversarial neural networks, things like that, who are coding in the language of TensorFlow and Python, they probably should be looking into this because in actuality, it really is possible for an AI system to be able to create an artificial wing that would fly just like birds. And if somebody were to succeed at it, they would make so much money. So much money. So one way that it could be designed is you have the wing, like little tiny grids of metal, like little tiny grids like boxes, and covered by some sort of material such as a tarp, some sort of a parachute material, if you will, where air can't flow through it, and then have the AI software, flap, have the physics of the software flap, and learn how to do it until it lifts off the ground. And obviously create a scoring system because that's how these neural networks are designed, where if the flap reaches a certain amount of pounds of pressure, it scores a certain amount of points, and the more pressure each flap goes, the higher it scores. And before you know it, the neural network will probably create flaps. It'll probably flap its wings hard enough that it will be able to lift 200-pound people off the ground, or you could even do more than that, frankly. I mean, you could start shipping packages across town, just like drones, except drones, they can only carry so much. I think it's an interesting idea to be using the idea of an actual wing. Like, why reinvent it into like a helicopter spinning device like that? I think that there's a more organic approach, and frankly, there's other methods as well in terms of flight, in terms of human flight. But neural networks are a great way to design this. And so I thought I should put it out there. One of the reasons why I decided to make this video is because I saw a competition, a science competition, where there's actually funding. The science competition wanted to pay developers who can come up with a better way of flying than the traditional jetpack. And so I've had thoughts on the matter for a while, so I figured I'd share it. And again, if you're in neural network programming, please contact me because I really would like to learn how to use TensorFlow. I'm a programmer myself, and it's really interesting talking with you guys who are in programming. And if I were you, I'd really be thinking about usable functionality for the things that you're making in terms of AI development and neural networks, because right now a lot of the engineers who are successfully coding in neural networks, they're using it for games. to beat games. You've seen DeepMind, beat AlphaGo's champion in China. You're seeing OpenAI's Elon Musk win Dota, win in the video game Dota, and video games aren't really a great form of technology to be developing for AI. It's not that effective. I think it's a great way to show off your ability at making AI and neural networks. But in terms of functionality or trying to make a profit or something useful, video games, they're not, like, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to try to necessarily focus on that. I think it's a good starting point. And then you're going to see a lot of people who are in neural networks and AI who are going to try to beat the financial systems because there's so much money there. So they're going to, for instance, download all of the data on the New York Stock Exchange of the day or the NASDAQ, and they're going to have a neural network get a scoring system where the neural network scores points if the portfolio goes up in value and loses points if it goes down. And so the neural network's going to just naturally notice any inconsistencies in the market and make trades that are going to profit off of that. And I certainly, if anybody can build neural networks that can beat the financial markets and things like that, I certainly can't blame you for wanting to do that. But there is a lot of functionality in things that you can develop for neural networks, and I just thought that this is one of the things that people should be considering focusing on, because transportation is a really important thing. And if you're an Elon Musk follower, Elon Musk has spent most of his life, much of it, focusing on transportation, particularly renewable energy type of transportation. That's why he has the electric car company. But he's also worked on SpaceX because he wants to focus on transportation, interglobally and globally. He's going to be using his ships, hopefully in the future, to transport people from city to city within like 20 minutes. Like, you're supposed to be able to go from like New York to Tokyo in 20 minutes or something using SpaceX ships in the future. That's what Elon Musk's SpaceX video promo was recently. So transportation's a really big thing that it's a major human obstacle, and people have wanted to fly for thousands of years. I think jetpacks are a great way to be able to do that, but there definitely might be better ways. And I haven't really seen anybody discussing neural networks as a way of studying how that can be done in a more efficient manner. And I certainly suspect that there is a much more efficient way to fly using AI. And so that's my thoughts on the matter. I'm Mick Demi. This is Ideas Are Powerful. Share them if you want. Ideas spread like wildfire. And so if you share an idea, someone might see it. They might tell somebody else the idea. Even if they don't mention my name, they might just tell the idea. And before you know it, the world can change. And hopefully for the better. So if you like the ideas, share them, because ideas are powerful. I'm Mick Demi.